Hi everyone, welcome to Momsu Code video guide session. In the previous video, we were coding for the exposure layer to get a record by ID. So this is turning green. With that, we have completed our read by ID operation. What's next? It's CRUD, right? C-R-U-D. So create is done, read is done. The next comes the update. So let me spend some time in walking you through this diagram. So we all know about storage. We all know about our logging broker. And then the storage broker that talks to the storage needs to have an update layer. And what is all this, right? There is something different from the previous diagram. So this I will be explaining when we start our actual foundation layer. And then we'll talk about this, and then this is similar to the exposure layer. So this 3 boxes is something different from so far what we have seen. So for now, our focus is this. Let's get to the coding. First thing, let's go create a user branch. And this is going to be a broker, and this is going to be update. Okay, so where do we write the code? First, we go write the interface. So once a record is updated, it's going to return back the record that is updated, right? So sample is the return type, and then update sample is my method. And what is the data that's going to update? It needs to receive an input, right? Similar to insert, what is it going to insert? It is receiving an input. So same thing, it's going to receive a sample record to update it. And after updating it, it's going to return it back, right? Nice. Let me go write the method here. As usual, this is going red. Here we are. So on this particular call, I need to update the record. If you go and take a look at this, right, the list data type that's there in C#, we do not have an update functionality. So what we are trying to do here is something different. Let's say samples dot, and then I'm going to remove. So you can say remove or remove all. All of what? Everything that comes with this particular ID. So I'm going to say sample, and then sample.id equal sample ID. So since this one is also sample and this one is also sample, it's kind of messing it up. So let me change this one as input sample, and then sample.id. So for anything that you find a match of the incoming record, let's say our storage as 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. If this particular input that's coming in to update 1, 2, 3, I'm first removing all that's having 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to add it back. Samples.add samples.add of input sample. Okay, after I add it, I'm going to return it. Why do we have to do it, right? If at all you see this particular data structure, it doesn't have anything that's inbuilt to maintain a uniqueness. In the previous series that we have been doing was read by ID, right? It is actually reading the record by ID. Whereas while you're trying to insert, we don't have the logic here is just whatever it receives, it inserts. So if it's receiving a record for 1, 2, 3, 10 times, it's going to have all the 10 records with the ID 1, 2, 3. So when we're trying to update 1, 2, 3, you can either remove one record and update it, or you can remove all and update it. So it's case on case on what you want to perform in your software. So for now, my goal is, if you asking me to update 1, 2, 3, let me remove all of 1, 2, 3, and then add a new entity, right? So this piece that you're seeing here is kind of going to drive the diagram that we saw previously, and we'll understand it slowly. So for now, what we see here is when the method is receiving a record to update, It's going to remove everything for the matching ID, and it's going to add the record, and it's going to return back. So here, let me go change the name here, input sample. Cool. As usual, run the cleanup, build the solution. Okay, everything is succeeded. So with this, we are completing our broker code. In the next video, let's get to the diagram, understand the foundation layer, and then start with the coding. See you on the next video.